Hello and welcome everyone, I am Madals and this is another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today guys, I have got game 1 of a best of 3. It is between Evil Genius's ThorZaIN, the blue Terran player in the lower right position, and roxkisTITAN, the red Protoss player in the top left. The map is Ahana, and I am super stoked about this game. It should be sweet. I love ThorZaIN. ThorZaIN is just so good. He's like epically awesome, so I must say my personal prediction for this best of 3 is probably going to be a 2-0 to ThorZaIN. That's what I am predicting, but anything can happen. This is StarCraft, and well, we will wait and see. Now, obviously, being a PvT, there is lots of different options available to both these players, but a general framework that I'll probably both follow is, well, from ThorZaIN's point of view, he'll get our Marines Marauders Medevacs with Stim, and then pray that he can really win before Colossus and Ghost comes out, because Colossi and High Templar rather come out, because that is really when that infantry army gets annihilated. Titan, on the other hand, is going to be going for one of two approaches. One, can I win before my opponent gets Stim, in which case yay, or am I just going to have to try and get out a lot of Colossi and High Templars and storm and thermal lance the hell out of his army? But really, it'll all come down to how both players get going early on. Now, this is all fairly normal by ThorZaIN, no need to wall off, particularly in PvT. So this is all good. Now, let me just say, guys, I am going to be doing a massive amount of casting. I may even beat my personal target of getting a game up a day. So do keep a lookout, because I'm definitely going to be getting some good stuff up. And also, I would really like to say that if you could like the video, that would be really helpful to me. Also, if you don't subscribe to my channel, do give it a good bit of thought, because I get new games up every day. Anyway, for the moment, we do just have everything going fairly standardly. I mean, we've got the gas coming down the gateway, the second pylon, no expansion early out from either player, because that would be quite risky to do. Obviously, being the first game in a best of 3, you don't really want to do anything too risky, because that is when you can potentially lose to something silly, and then you're going into game 2 in a position of, I could be out if I don't do this right. So I definitely think playing slightly safer in game 1 is good before you know what your opponent's going to do. Now, an expansion is coming down from ThorZaIN now, so it's going to be a 1 rack CC, but it has been spotted by the probe. Now, that probe obviously gives the information to Titan that he can take his own expansion, which is exactly what is happening. So far, neither player taking any huge risks, both going pretty standard, getting a good economy going up, and well, this should be a really good game for the moment. Now, the other thing I meant to say was, I apologize, one of my videos I put up a couple of days ago had some sound issues with the mic. I have no clue what happened. It was an entire batch of uploads I did, all like the sound went really funny on it, so I had to kind of delete them, which was bad times, and because I'd uploaded them, I'd already deleted them off my computer, so they're lost forever, which is a bit of a shame. So sad face for that, but luckily I've got a whole day I can cast like mad. Now, ThorZaIN is getting, okay, this is now getting a bit risky. He wants the economy. Command Center, Rax Command Center, which is so ThorZaIN to do. These Terran players and their expansions, they do love them. Building it in his main, so that probably won't get scouted out, especially now there's a Marine coming down in the bunker there. That won't get spotted until an observer is in the base, which really does put ThorZaIN in a good spot, because he probably won't float it down to take his third for quite a while, but the extra mule and SCV production will really, really help him. Anyway, Titan, well, Titan, he's got the second gas up, he's getting Warp Gate tech on its way, getting a sentry out now, already has the Stalker. I believe he skipped the, no, he didn't skip the Zealot. The Zealot is at the Watchtower, the other Watchtower, of course, being held by ThorZaIN, so both players are very, very passive at the moment. Nothing is being lost for either of the two of them there. More barracks being added on, the double gas coming down now for ThorZaIN, so of course things like the Stim upgrade, that's going to be slightly delayed by getting out this extra command center. But look at this Titan. Did Titan see anything to suggest that he should be doing that? Oh my god. Wow. That is weird. That is just bold moves right there. That means that actually economically these two players are going to be in a really similar spot, and there's been no scouting information at all for Titan to suggest that his opponent is going for that third base, so that is really bold, because characteristically Terran would have an easier time defending some pressure due to bunkers and things like that, but this third base is quite vulnerable, getting knocked out by that sentry, and of course this is all off of one gateway, so that is really, really crazy good. I like that. Now ThorZaIN building this supply depot here. This is just to add a little bit of extra cover for the bunker, preventing zealots from being able to engage it, etc. So clearly he's a bit worried about something. I'm not quite sure what he's seen. He's seen, I may have seen some zealots moving on. Got a little marine standing over there. Of course, that third command center is now an orbital command, producing more workers. So that should mean that ThorZaIN will catch up in the worker count shortly, just because he does have that third command center. But of course, there is the third nexus, which means that of course Titan will keep the advantage. The mules will be the only thing tipping it into ThorZaIN's favor. Both players just sitting on 2 gas. Interestingly, it's quite late in the game now. Surprised they haven't taken more gas yet. We've got that Twilight Council coming down, so I'm expecting we'll see some blink play right now, as well as 2 more goers. That takes up to 5 gates. 5-gate blink stalkers. Probably will get a robotics facility for the observer just to blink up onto this high ground and harass the main base. Now we do have stim about 2/3 done. We've got the factory on its way out for ThorZaIN. That's most likely just going to be used to get a starport out, and therefore a lot of medevacs and potentially Vikings should Colossus be spotted. Now I was actually wrong here, not that that ever happens, but we do have charge coming out rather than blink. So again, an interesting move to go. We'll probably see a tech up now into Templar Archives and therefore High Templar, just because it's a more direct route into that AoE damage that really ThorZaIN will require to deal with this big infantry army. The Zealots, they're going to be good. Obviously, the other option by going Templar Archives is you can get Archons out should you need them. We've got the double forge coming down, so double upgrades will be on the way. The double upgrades already being produced by ThorZaIN though, who is a good quarter of the way there to getting his 2 1/1 upgrades for that infantry. Combat shield also now coming down. Starport is there, the reactor is just finished, so those 2 should switch literally right on the money. ThorZaIN, his timing is just brilliant. He's getting up his, well, 5th and 6th gas now. If we look up here, it is only 4 gas at the moment for Titan. He hasn't taken the 5th or 6th one yet, or even look like he is going to be. The terms of the worker count, while Titan is ahead, the fact that there are 3 mules down should mean that the better income is there for ThorZaIN. So he's level on the marine minerals, but a better gas income as we speak. Now here comes Blink on its way down now. No Templar Archives or anything like that, so this is a very, very heavy infantry army. I'm not sure how well that's going to work out, because ThorZaIN has, well, he's got stim, he's about to get combat shield, and well, concussive shells on its way. He's got the upgrade advantage. Everything is really where he should want it to be, and of course stimmed units absolutely crush gateway units. We do have the first 2 medevacs on their way over. There are unfortunately not anywhere close, but this third base could be in some problems right now. Can Titan get there to defend? He is running over, needs to be careful. That one marine is getting a good look at the entire size of the army. A scan goes off, all of the information ThorZaIN needs to decide now whether he's got it, and he does not. He pulls back. That is probably the best thing to do. The Templar Archives is now 2/3 done for Titan. This third base is running really, really nicely for ThorZaIN at the moment as well. Both these players doing a great job. That factory is scouting, because that is what them factories do. We should see Storm start researching pretty quickly out of here, because of course that is going to be essential to deal with just that many infantry units. That drop was cancelled purely because the pylon did spot it, but again, a free pylon win, and it's not quite the first thing lost in this game, but it's pretty damn close to it now. That drop is going to be able to come in, but there's a lot of stalkers there, so it should get denied very, very easily. Of course, with Blink as well, those stalkers can just instantly knock it out, as long as Titan is paying attention. Meanwhile, there is a drop coming down to the third. That is doing some good damage. The medevac will get picked off at the main base, so a good multi-prong attack. Everything getting cleaned up here, so Titan actually doing a good job at the moment of defending pretty much everything. Landing the factory there, ThorZaIN is just being a boss and preventing those zealots from getting in, and now lifting it up, and he's going to run to the high ground, hoping it doesn't set on fire, and well, unfortunately it does, so it will eventually die now, which is always a shame. In terms of the loss tab, came out a bit worse for ThorZaIN there. ThorZaIN did manage to kill 10 workers though, which does now give him the worker lead, which when you factor in mules as well is absolutely brilliant. These few little bits of infantry for ThorZaIN are going to get picked off very, very quickly. ThorZaIN forced to pull back. The medevac numbers are creeping higher now. He's got those ghosts on the way. That, I think, is a great move. He's seen the High Templar. Obviously, the ghosts essential for the EMP. A forward pylon coming in for Titan, who's going for a big push now. Of course, he is at about... Both players are very similar supply, actually. Now, here we go. A bit of an engagement. Not the best positioning, though, at the moment for ThorZaIN. Those force fields are good. They're cutting off quite a lot of the army, allowing these small bits to get killed off. But, of course, it's also very detrimental to the Zealots being able to get into range. And, well, ThorZaIN, he's gone back to the bunker, but the third base, that is incredibly vulnerable now. Can this infantry army get over there in time? It's a big commitment out of Titan moving in here. He will not be able to get back out. Of course, Storm is finished. A big storm down here could be very big, but the ghosts were already there, and this is absolutely crazy. And, well, the ghosts there getting picked off so easily. Some good snipes going down. No EMPs even needed. And, of course, without the AoE damage, there is no way for Titan to really deal with this much infantry. But there goes one storm. It did quite a bit of damage, but not quite enough in my opinion. More snipes are still going down, I can hear. No EMPs, so I think an EMP would be good. Some great force fields, literally slicing ThorZaIN's army in half. Does allow the Zealots to absolutely go to town. ThorZaIN does still have the better supply. Using those medevacs to lift behind the force fields, absolutely great move, and it has all pretty much got cleaned up now. I would definitely call this in ThorZaIN's favour. He's got the greater supply lead, but economically there was quite a bit of damage done to ThorZaIN because he's not had that third base mining for quite a while. More reinforcements coming in, and well, ThorZaIN is just really dominating at this point, and it's really a different experience in my opinion. The Titan, he didn't stop the push. He did good damage, but then that next wave of reinforcements was never going to be enough, and so he really just sacrificed the units, which meant he's come out behind in terms of the resources lost. Upgrade-wise, 2-2 done for both players, 3-3 on the way out for both players. It's pretty similar timing. Of course, quite a few units just carelessly really being left out here, which means they will just get picked off. A High Templar there does get a feedback off, I believe, on something. I'm not quite sure what he managed to cast that feedback on. But of course, ThorZaIN just methodically moving forward. A ghost got killed there actually by a feedback. That is nasty times for that pile ghost. A lot of ghosts there. They don't have cloak or anything like that. More ghosts are in production. A fourth command center on its way down for ThorZaIN at the moment. The fourth nexus already half done for Titan though. So to be fair, this game is still pretty damn close. The one thing I'm loving out of Titan is during all of that engagement, he did get tech up to Colossus. He's got the double robotics facility. He's getting extended thermal lance, and that means his army is going to have both the Colossi and the High Templar. Storm is very good for dealing big burst damage, but it doesn't really end things that well. It's a bit like fungal growth on Infestus or something like that. It's great if it has support for more damage, but on its own it can be difficult to use. So I think getting those Colossi out as well means it also means that ThorZaIN has to balance very carefully his Viking ghost numbers so he gets the best of everything. Now we do have a couple of units getting picked up here, 2 Marauders and 4 Marines. They're probably going to go around for a drop, but to be fair, the drop defense early game by Titan was really, really good. ThorZaIN only going for a single prong attack here. He's got just a couple of Marines just keeping an eye on what is going on, and that was the longest charge I think I've ever seen a Zealot do. But of course, a couple more units coming in. That Zealot is now well and truly dead. Was there any scouting information down here for that medevac? I am not sure. More Zealots are getting picked off everywhere. This is a big movement of forces though. That one Archon in there is going to help 2 Colossi, and as well as the 2-3 High Templar now. That is actually really quite a powerful army, and to be honest, ThorZaIN could have some trouble dealing with it. He does have 2 Vikings out, but 2 Vikings against what is now 4 Colossus is not going to be too easy. And I keep mixing up my Colossus and Colossi, but it is just so difficult to do on the fly. Anyway, looking down here, we've got a lot of Zealots coming in there. ThorZaIN is getting that level 2 ship weapons. Both players now have 3-3 upgrades for their infantry and ground army, and well, it looks like Titan is ready to go for it. He's getting in a good position. That Storm not quite on the money, but still did some damage. The Colossi are really helping this. Some good, well, EMPs going off everywhere. We've got trying to get a bit of a flank to pick up some more Colossi. One Colossus is getting very, very low on HP right now. The Zealots are getting cleaned up, and well, again, that actually was a pretty similar engagement. The 4th base, though, is getting absolutely dominated right now. We do have a big fight going on here. There is no force fields or anything like that. Some storms only just hitting. One Colossus falls, two Colossus goes down. The third one is the only one surviving. Once that falls, it could be some problems because the splash damage is now gone, but there's now Vikings doing literally nothing, and most of ThorZaIN's infantry has been cleaned up. The fourth base has been forced to lift. The Vikings even landing, trying to get in on this fight right now, but for the moment it looks like Titan is actually coming out on top. And there's the GG from ThorZaIN. Wow, that was an unexpected turn of results, but Titan really pushed through in the end there, so congratulations to him. And well, that was game 1. Flick over to my channel and I will see all you lovely people at game 2 any second. Bye for now.